Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we're sieging back the war goal here. Unfortunately, the AI lost that for us through just sheer incompetence. We're going to walk down directly to his capital here. I would love to get his capital sieged. And if we can get his capital sieged before these guys... Wow, they already have a breach. But if we can get this siege before they end this siege and come up this way, then that would be amazing. Currently 4 months to 4 months. We'll see how these rolls go. That was a good roll there. That was a really solid roll. Unfortunately, we don't have a breach yet. There is a small breach. Okay, we are ahead on this currently. So that is great. We're really pleased about that. We don't really have the force generation right now to win a battle against these guys in even terrain. So we're going to walk away, and hopefully our allies come with us. They are indeed. We are definitely running back to this terrain here. A small ally force was caught here. Nothing we can do about that. Another one was caught. Okay. Can we call in the French here? We can. We absolutely should. Okay, so we've retreated back to our defensive territory. France has been called in. And we're going to get attacked here. Do we also hire mercs? Wait, hang on. Where are we? Oh, right. Our rally point is here. It was off over here, and I was confused for a moment. I think that we do actually hire mercs here. So we would end up hiring what type of merc? Cavalry. To counter those archers. So we'd hire these guys. We could also potentially think about hiring, like, these guys. Even that is saying that we'll probably lose this. Defending in mountains, owner is slightly in debt, better army commander. So, yeah, their commander is quite a lot better. We could bring in, let's see, skill 16, but advantage in forest and taiga. Okay, so we're going to be defending in mountains. We'll see how this ends up going. We may actually end up winning this. He actually doesn't want to fight it. That's interesting. Our ally wants to go up this way and link up with the French, I think. I'm just going to group up here. We're going to let these guys siege for a moment. Keep in mind, we're getting ticking war score here. Our allies are sieging over here. I want to go in and utilize the French here. Unfortunately, we're going to have to fight this. We're going to have to start this fight to get the French to come in. But once they get here, we win it. So winning this fight is huge. Bringing in the French and, yeah, spending our money. I really didn't want to spend our money on mercs, but that was necessary to keep them from attacking us here. So we're going to go up over this way. We know that we're sieging here. I would like it if they'd continue that siege, but they did not. So we're sieging up over this direction, and Castile retreated off over this way. They're coming back, but with the French here, we're pretty confident in this at this point. Yeah, they're going to go attack up over here. What do we actually need to maintain this siege? They have 654. Okay, so we're going to leave mangonels, we're going to leave these guys, and we're going to head up this direction and attempt to reinforce this and hold the line until the French show up here. And actually, we've got this under control. No problem whatsoever. Do we grab, say, fearful troops here? Sure, I guess that's fine. And hey, the war is over. So that is phenomenal. Unfortunately, Castile is still going to be pretty strong. Exchanging hostages. That must be something that's in Wards and Wardens. Interesting. That's actually very interesting. We'll disband our troops here. And we got a territory. So that's something. But we're going to need to certainly... Negative 100 gold. Okay, that's exciting. We're certainly going to need to work on that. We're also going to need to station our archers for now out over here. I'd like to take a look at potentially doing title revocations, 14% and 0%. Okay, I would like to revoke these titles. We're at 3 out of 8 domain limit right now, right? Challenge to board game. Sure, we'll play a board game. What are we good at? We are good at learning. Okay. And we win. Fantastic. So we need to come out of debt, right? There's no doubt about that. We are in debt right now. We can exchange hostages. Alternatively, we could just ransom them, right? Or did they change that? Can we no longer just do ransoms? Hang on a moment. If that's a change, that's a pretty big one. So we would need to go into our prisoners here. We can still ransom for gold. Okay. For a favor hook? Yeah, let's go by rank. We don't have, like, anybody who's a good rank here. Are all of these just for a hook? Is that why it's not showing up in the log? 1 gold. No, we'll hold off on that. Okay. So for now, we're going to tick on forward, and I would like to do this title revocation. 466 and 345 troops. We should be able to handle that. So we would revoke this title. He's probably going to rebel. We're going to anticipate that he rebels, and this guy might go with, which would be good for us, actually. We're going to go in. Actually, he gave it to us. That was only a 15% chance. We'll disband our troops then. That's great. And we are, of course, going to station these archers right here for now. Cool. Now for this guy. We need to revoke his title, and he is definitely going to rebel. So we're going to raise all of our forces here, and in we go. And he rebels. No shockers here, but we're already in position for this. Wonderful. Do we want to be a Cathar? All matter was created by Satan and is therefore inherently tainted with sin. The only way to achieve salvation is to reject the materialistic world and with it all worldly desires. What twisted mockery of our faith is this? Okay, so we're going to siege this down. No problem. This is super over. They just don't know it yet. Unfortunately, we are losing a little bit of gold right now, and we don't have a fantastic way to get gold. Although we can ransom this guy for 30 gold. That would be good. We definitely want to do that. So we're going to get this siege done. 3 months on that. 50 days. Fantastic. We need to get our hands on, like, every tiny little bit of gold we can at this point. Gold is, I think, the most important thing here. So this is over. We're going to enforce our demands, disband our troops, and then we do our title revocation here, which he will now accept. There we go. And that gives us this location, which allows us to station our mangonels. Now, none of these are amazing, right? There's no doubt about that. But we are gaining 4.5 gold per month now. King Philippe has been swayed. Wonderful. And we will definitely take this 10 gold ransom. That will get us a little closer to coming out of debt, which is very important, of course. We're going to need to bring up our control levels in these areas as well, and we just had a sun, which is good. We just got 90 gold from additional taxes. That is huge. What do we want to do with that? Well, we need a new chancellor, and that's going to be this guy. Now, Castile is kind of the big boss in the area, right? I mean, France is the big boss. But in terms of people we're not allied to, Castile is kind of the big boss, but I would say that these guys are more the big boss. Can we attack Aragon? We're still truced. We could attack this guy. He's got 5,000 troops. Because he's allied with this guy. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. 80% chance of death here. Or we could just gain 100 stress. And we'll do that for now. You've been marked for death. Flee while you can. Okay. So we could convert to Paulicianism, or we could just become athletic, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I do not want to take that 80% chance of death right now. A small hill fort has been built. Okay. So we're not, I think, too focused on... Well, we should be a little focused on construction right now, shouldn't we? Well, we do need to max out our men-at-arms. That is incredibly important. And I think we go for... I think I said previously that we would go for, like, pikemen, but we can get 8 sizes of pikemen. I think we go for armored footmen for our 6th men-at-arms, just for counter efficiency. And we need to bump up our number of men-at-arms. So we need to get gold. That's the most important thing. So we have a nemesis. That's very rude, but that's fine. We need to get gold here, and that means making our way down the lifestyle focuses here. Golden aplomb into at any cost. We have It Is My Domain right now. And when can we extort subjects? I want to be notified when that's available. That will be available. Oh, we have no vassals of count rank or higher. Yeah, that is true. We stole all of our counts. So we can't actually extort subjects. That's fine for right now. We will get some, but for now I want to go after Aragon, right? So he's allied with Barcelona. How strong is Barcelona? 1719? Not tremendously is the answer. Okay, we can create an accolade or reinstate first of the column. Actually, we can. We can definitely do that. So we'll put Amory in here, and we can also put in a successor, so that'll be wonderful. Now, I would like to create a new accolade here. We can create one, and let's see what we would end up getting. Pike Captain. It's 60 gold, though. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so we'll make him be a Pike Captain. Pike Captain is gonna be really, really good for our Spearmen, right? And we do have some Spearmen. So that's absolutely great. We're going to have that be a thing. He does not serve as a knight. Force him to serve as a knight. Missing 1642. Okay, so we need prestige for that. Right, I should have thought of that. Definitely should have thought of that. We can ransom this guy for 10 gold. That'll recover some of that gold anyway. Okay, so let's go look at the Pope here. Can we ask him for gold? He has 20 reasons not to. We're swaying the King of France right now. I don't think we need to keep doing that. This ransom is acceptable to me. We'll take the gold from that. Absolutely. Sounds great. Okay, we lose 4 stress. Cool. And a learning challenge. Our daughter could gain the trait athletic. Okay, sure. Sounds good. So that's absolutely fine. Our cousin in Castile, huh? Yeah, he would not accept this. That's all fully expected. So that's fine. Our Merc contracts are expiring. Yes, we're going to spend... No, we're going to actually... We're negative in prestige. We need to come out of prestige debt before we can go to war, really. I mean, we could do, like, holy wars, right? So we could declare on, like, these guys down here. But that would be a bad idea right now, I think. Well, with France, we might be able to pull it off. Maybe. We maybe could pull it off. We definitely need to get control in these counties. That's a high priority. And we need to start getting income flowing in. We do already have stone quarries and simple pastures. I'm going to be developing this entirely economically, I think. We're going to go for military development later once we have this duchy down here. So we're going to be needing to look for what we want our military and economic duchies to be. This would be a really strong military duchy, I think. Likely. And then we could have, like, Castile be our economic duchy. Yeah, I think that's solid. I think that's really solid. So that would be the plan, which means that we would develop this purely economically and try to steamroll them that way. So that would mean putting in things like quarries here. Yes. Quarries. And eventually getting rid of these, actually. 25 gold to sway the Pope? It's not worth it. We're trying to get gold from the Pope, not give gold to the Pope. So for right now, I want to put in possibly blacksmiths here. That's going to be a little expensive, though. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit before that happens. This is going up by 0.9 per month, so that's going to be a while before we get this control up, for sure. We'll pay the royal court a visit. Our court is very bare. Okay. I do not want to spend prestige. We will gain prestige here. Losing court grandeur is actually fine. We will gain additional prestige. Cool. Whose claim is this? Our half-sister? She has a claim on a couple of counties in France. May your journey be swift and safe. We're not going to be fighting France in a couple of years. I can tell you that. That'll be absolutely fine, but not right now. This is not the time for it. So we're going to be dropping our small hill fort here eventually and replacing this with probably a blacksmith, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I think a blacksmith makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. It's expensive, though. There's no doubt about that. We do get a stewardship lifestyle perk, and that gives us golden aplomb. Okay, one more stewardship lifestyle perk. 50 gold. I don't want to spend money. I do not want to spend money here. But we kind of have to. We did just get gold, so that's fine, I suppose. We will put in a blacksmith here. And we need to get our economy developing. Absolutely. Once we get our economy developing, we can kind of lean on France for safety for the time being. Once our economy develops, then we can focus on getting our men-at-arms set up at that point. This alliance is fine. I'm okay with that. Sure. Sounds good to me. So we're going to get all of these economic buildings constructed as soon as possible. If we look at, say, Castile over here, we can see he's making 1.5 gold per month to our 4.6. We're making substantially more. So that's good. But we're going to continue to snowball that particular one. Low control in the county of Najera has created a corruption unsafe highways over here, which is not great, but we'll continue to work on our control over in Yaka for now. It's got that peasant outcry there. Okay. Interesting. Well, that's going to be a bit before that's ready to go. We gained a level of stress, but that's actually good because that boosts our income. Now, if we go talk to the Pope here, we can ask him for gold. He's going to give us 135. Beautiful. We'll use this wealth wisely. So we just converted piety into gold, and we're going to invest that gold. I think up here in Arun right now, our control is higher. It's not exactly high. But we replace the small hill fort here with a blacksmith, and we'll get that underway. There's something going on in Castile, but for now I'm not too concerned about it. We've done kind of the extent of the land grab that I want to do right now. We need to work our way out of prestige debt, and if we wanted to attack Aragon... Yeah, that would only cost us 8 fame. They only have access to 850 troops. We should be able to do this without bringing in any allies. It'll cost us some fame. That's a price I'm willing to pay. It'll cost 16 fame. So we're going to raise our men-at-arms, and we're going to raise levy troops. We don't need to raise our full force. So this is enough at this point. And we can still be making money. They're running off this direction. I'm not calling in allies. They have no allies. So this is good. We're going to grab ourselves another county here. And we're not going to have a count. Well, maybe we should have a count under us at this point. Specifically so that we can extort our subjects. We don't need another station point for a man-at-arms yet until we get a 6th man-at-arms. So that's definitely a thing. We're going to finish up this siege, and actually the war's over. We captured her. So we're going to enforce our demands and disband our troops. Wonderful. Now, I think I am going to grant this out. This is going to be at 0 control. We're really far behind in control. So I think we grant this to someone like this guy, which allows us to extort subjects. Now, where are my loyal subjects? And that means that he can work on this control instead of us. We might look to take that back later, but why take a little when we can take a lot? So we're at 233 gold. That, of course, means we can come over here and construct a quarry. We can also go up to Vizcaya, and we can construct, like, a hill farm here. Beautiful. That is absolutely magnificent. So we're going to need to deal with our control up here, for sure. That is ticking upwards slowly. So let's increase control up this way next, and then we'll just work our way over. We definitely need to work up our control levels. There's no doubt about that, but this guy under us gives us access to extorting our subjects, which is important. So we're currently in the opportunity phase, and we're making our way towards the hostility phase. That makes sense. Cool. So for now, we're completely fine with that. We can ransom off a couple of prisoners here, and we're very, very pleased to do so. 34 gold, we'll take it. It's not the full amount, but we'll take it. Okay, the Pope died. We're going to need to head on over and start swaying the new Pope. He has 20 reasons not to give us gold. Okay. Bloomeries in Navarra. Excellent. So that is, of course, in our capital. And we'll look to upgrade some of these eventually, but we'll need to get some tech as well. This ransom is acceptable. We'll take the 20 gold. Out in Najera, we currently have hamlets. I think we need to go for blacksmiths eventually, but I think cattle pastures for right now. We're missing 18 gold on that, but that is what we're going to go for. Just checking through here, that all looks reasonably fine. The first among the office bearers can be reinstated, and they actually can. Wow, okay. Okay, that's the archer guy. Right. Cool. So that's fine for right now. We could potentially put in a successor, but we're not going to do that right now. We're very, very in debt on prestige from our war against Castile. This is not shocking. Not shocking in the slightest. I want to check in on the papal reasoning here. 20 reasons? Okay. So we'll have to wait until his opinion of us comes up a bit. That's absolutely fine. I do want to build a cattle pasture over here, and in our capital, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build an upgrade of our simple stone quarry. We need to get this income rising up higher. That's the idea right now. We'll see what ends up happening with that. I think as long as we're allied with France, we should be reasonably safe to work on our economy. That's the idea anyway. We're definitely going to get quite a lot of additional gold. And yeah, we're getting a smuggling ring out over here. Bloomeries have been constructed. That's great. We're going to get quite a lot of additional gold just by increasing our control levels out here. Just doing that will be big. We did complete our blacksmith here. And we're going to need to change around some of these buildings, specifically these two. There's two buildings here that I want to get rid of. We're focusing entirely economically here, and we're going to be going on the strength of our men-at-arms to carry us militarily. And France. Can't forget about France. France is kind of the linchpin of our strategy right now. A scheme at court? I never would have expected anything like this in Crusader Kings. How could that have happened? So we have a mental break here. We can go for a ride. That does drop our stress level down, unfortunately, so we're going to lose a little bit of income. But we do get a stewardship perk here, which means we get at any cost. Unfortunately, sell titles does cost prestige, which means we cannot do it at this moment because we are short on prestige, obviously. So that is not something that we can do at this exact moment, but we're going to work towards being able to do that. So that's looking good. We're about to finish up our control in this county here. And in fact, there it goes. So we're going to be working on increasing control over here in Vizcaya next. So that's going to be great. And we're, of course, going to need to continue to, like, replace this militia camp eventually with something like a cattle pasture, I think would be the way to go. Yeah, definitely a cattle pasture here. We're missing 40 gold on that. Let's go see if we can talk to the Pope. We cannot yet. Okay. We've not had this way pop through just yet. We'll get there. Cool. So we're definitely making progress here. 75 prestige potentially and 50 opinion from the Pope. He was convinced. Fantastic. So that means that we can definitely ask him for gold right now. Consider it done. We're converting our piety over into gold. Here comes the tax refund. So there's a bunch of cash for us. We're going to swap this guy on over to a cattle pasture. And there we go. We've also got this barony out over here that I'd like to get built with economic structures. We would end up putting almost certainly a cattle pasture and a blacksmith here for now. Keep in mind we're going to get more building slots, right? As soon as we get bailiffs, which is currently being exposed to an innovation, and we'll have that in 26 years. So that is fine. We gained a level of devotion here. Perfect. Simple pastures in Nigera. Okay. So next off over here, we would end up building a blacksmith. Definitely. Hillside fields in Vizcaya, absolutely great, but we're not going to get the most benefit out of that just yet. We would end up replacing our simple earthworks here with... I think I'd go for a trade port right now. And then once we get our new building slot, then we'd go for the blacksmith. And then beyond that, like a cattle pasture or something. This betrothal seems okay. I'm fine with continuing to intermarry with France for right now. That sounds absolutely great. We need more cash, no doubt about that, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to build up our economy somewhat, and hopefully start transitioning pretty soon into bulking up our men-at-arms. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.